go of the phone now.
No, I'm on the phone with my lawyer.
Let go.
I'm on the phone with my lawyer.
Very confusing scenario.
It's not that confusing. If it's your stuff, then you use your stuff. If it's not your stuff, then you don't use it unless you have permission.
How much do you get out of all this?
$400.
You're being detained right now.
Why?
Turn around,
What
place
did I
your
do?
hands behind your
No.
back. Turn around. Stop.
Don't. What did I do?
With scammers lurking around every corner, none of us are really safe. Some of them try to swindle the elderly out of their life savings, while others orchestrate multi-million-dollar frauds. But no scheme can last forever because cops are always on the lookout. Let's watch as they bust some of the worst scammers ever caught on Bodycam.
I know you got the name memorized, you got the date of birth memorized, but there's a lot of things that aren't adding up, okay?
When bank tellers get suspicious about a customer, they'll often notify the cops immediately. That's what happened on February 6, 2023, when the cops were informed about a potential identity fraud in progress. The responding officer managed to catch the suspect just as she was leaving the drive-thru window.
Hello? What's going on?
I thought about go in because they said the tooth got stuck.
The what? I got something?
It got stuck in the tooth.
Okay.
That's all.
All right. Do me a favor. Will you step out for me real quick?
Sure.
Yeah, make sure you put your car in park.
Yeah, I do something wrong.
Well, we're not sure yet. You're trying to cash a check or something, is that right?
No, I was trying to withdraw from my account.
Withdraw from the account? Okay. Is it your account?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, maybe they're confused, but they're acting like they think that it may be somebody else's account.
No, it's my account, sir.
Okay.
The officer then asked the suspect for an ID, but the woman claimed that the bank had it. She also claimed that she didn't have any other official form of ID. While his partner went inside to speak to the employees, the officer interviewed the suspect in a friendly tone.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you real clear. Is this you?
Yes.
100%?
Yes.
And you have an ID that says this is you?
Yes.
Okay.
This is the ID that she presented for Miss Angela, which is our client. I gave her a call. She is in Kentucky currently. She's filed a police report. Her car was broken into, the purse stolen, and all that as well.
I mean, I'm not saying I don't believe you. I'm just saying they called us.
Like, my face is swollen because I just had my wisdom taken out.
Okay. All right.
She was trying to get information from her account and withdraw money from it.
Like what type of information?
How much was the balance in there?
Okay.
And then try to withdraw funds. Can give you the actual Angela's phone number.
When the savvy bank employee realized something wasn't right, she contacted the real owner of the account, a woman named Angela. We'll get to hear her side of the story later on. But first, let's see how the suspect handles the pressure of returning to the bank, then having to face the staff for the second time.
How y'all doing? I just put my car in a loft, and I found it. That's all it was. And I was coming from Kentucky. Right.
What's your name?
Look, Angela,
What's the address?
I moved from that address, sir.
But what is it?
I think it's like 210 something. 210, 1110, 110, 10 something.
What's your name?
Angela.
You understand our concern, though. You're
Yeah,
kind
I
of
understand
a
that.
little weird with the
Face is
responses.
swollen.
I get it. I
Like,
get
I
it.
just have my wisdom teeth out. It's just, I ain't got time. My messed up. It hurts.
I had my wisdom teeth out too, so I understand
I'm not
that.
gonna try to cash something it's not mine.
You gotta hand it to the woman. She had the guts to walk back into the bank. With her mask on and her made-up story, she hoped she'd be able to trick everyone into thinking she was Angela. However, as her fake identity slowly began to disintegrate, she started to realize that there was only one way this was gonna end.
I don't need to go to jail because I gotta go get my kids.
Well, nobody needs to go to jail unless they deserve to go to jail. That's why we're trying to figure it out. If you're a victim of your own misunderstanding with reported whatever, that's one thing. If you just forgot, don't remember the old address, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
I'm not trying to hit you up. However,
It's an old address. I just recently moved, like,
okay,
about a year ago.
just to make you 100% clear, we have to figure this out before we can let you and everybody else go about their business. But if you aren't the person that you're telling us you are, and you continue to tell us that, that's going to be another charge.
Okay, I understand.
You understand that too. I just want to make sure that you're completely aware that if you are being deceptive in any way,
I understand this.
keep digging yourself a hole if that's the case.
I understand that my mouth is just hurting for
Okay.
and I'm tired. I took it.
I'm just
Thank you.
giving you that just so you understand, okay?
Meanwhile, the younger officer sat in his car and contacted the real Angela. As he was talking to her, his partner continued asking the suspect questions. The officer knew that if he could expose enough holes in her story, she'd slowly begin to crack, and in the end, she'd confess.
Hey, good morning. Hey, just for the record, I want to go over a few things with you just to confirm your identity. Can you spell your first name for me?
Angela.
And so once again, you were just here trying to withdraw money.
Yeah, I'm trying to withdraw money.
How much were you trying to withdraw?
1750.
$17.50. Okay.
That I was planning on putting a down payment on a purse thing.
Okay.
But I probably got my PNC account mixed up with this. Did I ask him all that?
I'm sorry. Say that again.
The suspect's speech was slurred, indicating she might be on drugs or medication. So the officer decided they should step outside, get a little fresh air, and let the bank get back to business. While that was happening, the real Angela explained how the woman got her info.
Has Fifth Third Bank explained to you everything that's going on?
Well, they just called me and said, where was I located? I said, I'm in Lexington, Kentucky. And then they said, somebody's presenting, I guess, the car trying to, they're in the drive-through. And I guess she goes, I guess you can't be in the drive-through if that's the case. And I told them that, I said, yeah, Friday, my car was broken into, my purse was stolen, and my cards were stolen, my driver's license and all that. And I've made a report in Lexington, Kentucky.
For the record, have you given anybody permission to use your identity?
No.
Would you like to press charges for identity theft and financial transaction card fraud?
Yes.
Okay.
While talking to the suspect, the officer asked her to submit to a rapid ID test. It's basically a fingerprint scanner, and the woman agreed. His instincts told him that she wasn't being truthful, but no matter what he said, he just could not get the woman to confess.
Yeah, I've been doing this for 17 years. I get it if something's going on that you don't want us to know about. But if there isn't, no big deal. I'll be the first to apologize. But if there is, I'm just trying to get you to help yourself out by telling us the truth so you don't get hemmed up on further charges.
Right, I understand.
Okay. All right. How old are you? Okay. So
I'm already drugged up though.
I understand. But that math isn't working out.
I don't want to go to jail.
I know you don't want to go to jail, but here, okay, look.
I can have someone pick up the car.
Whatever your name is, look at me. Look at me right here. Right here. I'm gonna take my glass off.
My
So I can see
name
your
is-
eyes. Okay. Math isn't working out. A lot of this other stuff isn't working out. So why don't you just tell me who you are and what's going on? Look, I'm not some young guy that's trying to hem somebody up. I'm trying to help you.
At first, it didn't seem like the officer was making any progress. However, he just kept on pressing her while keeping his attitude friendly. It was pretty slow going, but if you watch the woman's body language, you'll notice that she's starting to give up.
I know you got the name memorized, you got the date of birth memorized, but there's a lot of things that aren't adding up, okay? So why don't you go ahead and just tell me what you got to tell me.
Can I smoke a cigarette?
We'll work on that.
I'm saying, like,
We'll work on that. I know how it is. I was kind of hoping you'd,
I'm like, either way, you're still gonna let me up, right?
Well,
Right?
so what can I call you? What's your real name? You don't want to tell me your real name? We're going to have to find out eventually. You all right? Or are you just contemplating things? Okay. Well, what did you take so I can tell the EMTs what you took? 10 Percocet?
The suspect claims she was getting dizzy and wobbly due to having taken 10 Percocet just 30 minutes ago. The cops, of course, called EMS to check her out, and as they waited for them, they gave her one more chance to come clean.
You're not going to get out of the hospital or out of jail without them knowing who you are, so you might as well just go ahead. What's that? Brenda?
All right, Brenda, you're under arrest. You're being charged with misdemeanor obstruction, felony identity theft, felony financial transaction card fraud. We're towing the car, taking a search warrant on the car, and that's why we're going to be other charges. I've already notified Lexington, Kentucky, okay?
I'm saying, I don't.
So you might have charges coming out of Kentucky, so.
I'm saying, I don't understand what the car. I just used my friend's car.
All right, let's go.
Am I going to the hospital?
Yep.
Can I get my jacket?
The officer's very subtle tactics worked. Brenda was charged with forgery, identity fraud, 5 counts of financial transaction card theft, theft by receiving, and 2 counts of giving false information to a police officer. During Brenda's ordeal, you've got to admit she was pretty calm and collected, most likely due to all that Percocet she took. However, our next suspect's demeanor was completely the opposite. On November 14th, 2023, the cops got a report about a woman trying to cash forge checks. So the cops found out where she lived and paid her a visit.
Hello, how are you?
Good.
Are you Beatrice?
No.
Is there a Beatrice?
She went to the store alone.
She went to the store?
Yeah.
She walked there or drive?
Bike.
Bike? Which store?
I don't know, one of the, either the Christ or the shop.
Okay. How long ago?
10 minutes?
10 minutes ago?
Breakfast, yeah.
Okay. And then she's coming back?
Should be, yes, supposed to be bringing bread.
What's that?
Bread.
Bread? Okay. Oh, how do you pronounce her last name?
Cactus?
Huh?
Cactus?
How do you spell it?
Or Shikazi. The Z is a Shikazi.
Her last name?
Yeah, her last name is Shikazi, but they say Cactus because she's not married anymore.
Okay. Do you live here with her?
No, I'm just visiting.
The woman accompanied the officers into the nearby store and even talked to one of the customers. But the officer's instincts told him something wasn't quite right. Things just weren't adding up here, and they weren't about to let the woman go so easily.
So, first off, you said that it wasn't your sister, that you were a friend.
No, that's my sister. Brianne.
Beatrice.
I'm Beatrice.
You're Beatrice.
No, Brianne. Beatrice is my sister.
I'm looking for Beatrice.
I know. That's why I said I was going to warn her. I'm sorry, she's my sister.
Who's Beatrice?
She's on her bike. She probably went to the liquor store. I thought she came down here with last.
And you're saying that you and her have the same tattoo?
Yeah, she's my sister.
Okay. What's your date of birth?
Mine is.
And what's her date of birth? Have you been arrested in using her name?
I'm going to use his name. That's awful.
I don't know.
Because she's wanted all the time.
Is this bike the one she brought or the one her friend? Who's
No,
this girl in there?
That's Leslie. That's her girlfriend.
That's the girl that's in there?
Yeah.
So she's on a different bike?
Yeah, that's why I said I'm going to warn her. So nobody like going to jail?
The way she kept changing her story was an obvious red flag. After warning her that interfering with the investigation could land her in jail, the officer realized this might be a suspect and asked the woman for a rapid ID test.
And she got a pink bike, you said.
I didn't say what color bike. I said a red sweater.
So I think you're lying to me.
Well, I'm not, so you can't prove it.
So I can have my sergeant come here and fast ID you?
Go ahead.
Okay, come here then. Stop. Stop
What
or you're
is
going to
your
be
problem?
arrested.
Why? What did I do? You think I'm lying to you?
Yes.
You can't prove it. And you're harassing me right now.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are, because I'm going to go warn my sister.
You can't do that.
I can.
Stop. Come here.
No.
You're under arrest.
No, I'm not.
Come here.
I'm not under arrest. I'm not doing anything. I'm going to go warn my sister.
Hi, Mary David. Are you in the area? She's refusing. You're being detained right now.
Why?
Turn around,
What
place
did
your
I
hands
do?
behind your
No,
back. Turn around. Stop.
Don't. What did I do? What did I do?
Relax. You are being
I'm
detained
going to
right
tell
now.
my sister.
Relax.
No, what did I do? I didn't do anything.
You're under arrest right now for resisting.
Resisting what? I didn't
Stop.
do anything.
Put your hands behind your back.
I didn't do anything.
Since the woman kept resisting, the cops had no choice but to take her quickly to the ground. At first, that only seemed to infuriate the woman more. But then, in the blink of an eye, she calmed down a bit and actually smiled.
Ow!
Stop resisting.
I didn't do
Stop
anything.
resisting.
I didn't do anything.
Stop resisting.
Ow!
Stop resisting. Or you're going to get tased.
There's a female on there. She was giving us a fake name.
There's possibly another one around.
No.
She's wearing a black bandana thing.
They've
on
all
her head.
been lying to us since we started.
Are you fine? Are you good?
Fine.
Okay.
You know I'm Beatrice.
So why are you lying to me?
Because I wanted to tell Les goodbye.
Are you injured at all?
No.
You good?
I'm good.
You gonna cooperate now?
Yeah.
Fight's over?
Fight's over.
Yeah.
As things turned out, Beatrice knew she was going to get arrested and just wanted to say goodbye to her girlfriend Leslie, the woman in the store. By doing so, inadvertently, she might have gotten Leslie in trouble.
You want to let Sergeant know that this is our suspect, so we have nothing on that other girl.
She gave us a fake name.
Who, Leslie?
She's been lying to me the whole time on who that was.
Okay.
What did I, obviously the warrant, but. Ow. Back. Oh, got probably a scrape on my back now. Whew.
I didn't ask her.
Yep.
I just had a feeling that was her the whole time. So she talked to her for a little bit, and then she left out, so I walked. I didn't even talk to that girl, so.
Okay.
I would say if she's valid, no wants, kick her loose. All right, Beatrice.
I'm sorry.
You're good though, right?
I'm good.
Just a little exhausted from fighting.
I just wanted to come tell her goodbye to my fiance. And
All right. And I had a feeling it was you the whole time, but it was hard to tell with that hat.
After that, the officer then proceeded to Mirandize Beatrice. Once that was done, it was then time to question the woman about the crime she was accused of, and she had an interesting way to justify her actions.
The reason I'm here and trying to talk to you is about some checks that were deposited at Vantage Bank in Swamico back in October.
okay, that's me too.
Huh?
A couple weeks ago, right?
A couple weeks ago. Yeah, October 16th and October 17th. Do you remember where those checks were from?
From my friend.
From your friend?
Yeah.
They were from your...
Yeah, she asked me to bank account. And I said, yeah. Because I got a letter, I got a bank statement. Because I've had this checking account forever. You know.
Sure. So
but
you're
it bounced.
saying this friend gave you checks written out to you?
Yeah, she said that I could deposit them and that they were valid. They were good. She said so.
What did she give you the checks for?
So that I could go to the store and like, get us some clothes and because we're homeless as it is, you know. I was like, okay, and I gave her like $300 out of it.
Beatrice claimed that a childhood friend, Sam Johnson, had given her the checks. She said she still had one of the checks at Leslie's grandparents' house, and she didn't cash that one because the other ones had bounced. The cops had to get their hands on the check to tie their suspect to the scam.
That bike, do you want us to bring that bike back to Leslie's grandparents' house?
Did she get the pencil?
Yeah, she went to jail.
Yeah.
Her agent put a hold on her. So if we do that, did you lock up the place or does it still need to be locked up? Locked up. Okay. You're going to cooperate with us? I'm not taking the handcuffs off, but you can come out. I will check them for proper tightness, but they can't come off. But if we do that, bring the bike there, you come out, you show us where the check is, we can get the check. You give us okay, but you'd give consent for us to go with you in there, get that check, and then you can lock it up and then wait. Right, yeah, you didn't cash it.
Leslie was on her way to jail, and the cops needed permission to enter her grandparents' house and get the check. And while Beatrice wasn't the owner of the house, she lived there and was a tenant, so she gave the cops permission to enter the house.
Sheriff's Department, anyone in here? Sheriff's Department?
Hello?
Got that. Thanks for cooperating
After the fact.
after.
No, I knew you knew who I was, and I was like, no, I'll get in the headlights and I wanted to tell us why. Because my homeboys was like, yeah, the judge is going to convert your bond to a cash bond. I was like, I'm a poor native. Like, I hope you don't.
Yeah.
This is the first touch like that ever. Thanks for putting that bike in her door.
Yeah,
Somebody
that
just
we
stole
know.
it. Somebody just stole it. Locked in the door and stuff. We're gonna be in trouble regardless. The house, that's grandma's house. And she's got a bag little print and it's a nice house, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're gonna be in trouble because it's dirty. Yeah, like she came in, we had camped in the living room last time they went away for the weekend. And this is a grandma house, you know what I mean? You know how grandmas are?
Oh, yeah.
Beatrice went to jail smiling, but most likely, her smile went away when she was charged with contempt of court, felony bail jumping, possession of narcotics, possession of illegally obtained prescriptions, possession of drug paraphernalia, 4 counts of forgery, resisting or obstructing an officer, 4 counts of fraud against a financial institution, and unauthorized use of entity identifying information. On October 31st, 2024, in Washington, the cops uncovered a massive Walmart theft ring spanning multiple states. The whole thing started to unravel after a woman was called trying to scam the electronics counter. Just as she reached her vehicle, she was rapidly detained.
Yeah, that's really nice how he just left you. Huh. Yeah, I wonder why he'd do something like that.
I don't know, who's not?
Yeah. That's something. He lets you take the fall for the crime, huh?
Please, can you tell me what I do?
Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute.
Why am from... You put this one in my hand?
We'll get to that in a minute. Because you're being detained right now.
Please, can you tell me Papa? Where I'm going?
So have a seat. You're being detained right now. We're investigating a crime. And we believe that you and your husband or your partner just committed, okay?
What's that?
Yep. So you're not free to go.
Please, can I go to the toilet? Please, I beg you, come with me.
No, you're staying right here.
No, you come with me.
No, you're staying right here.
Please, I beg you.
9-354.
The male perpetrator was a distraction, while the female suspect carried out the scam. The man then left the store and waited in the getaway car. But the moment he saw an officer approach the woman, he drove off in the vehicle. The cops tried to identify the woman, which seemed to be an impossible task.
Okay.
Can I put my this on back?
9-354 with the name out of New York. Is this real?
Sorry?
Last of Vladimir, Victor, Lincoln, Adam, David, Ida, Mary, Ida, Robert. First of Jessica, John, Edward, Sam, Ida, Charles, Adam. Date of birth, 1995.
Oh, here's a whole list of her aliases. Let's
Okay.
see if any of those are on it.
Okay. All right, so what's your real name?
Jessica.
Jessica?
Nothing.
Okay, you know lying to the police is a crime?
I'm not lying.
Yes, you are lying because there's no record on that name. You are lying.
No, I'm not lying.
Yes, you're lying. You want to give me your real name or do you want to get charged with giving an officer fake identification information?
This one is my name.
It's not your name.
It's my name, I swear.
The woman lied through her teeth, but she didn't realize that Walmart theft prevention had already connected her to over 45 scams at stores across the U.S. They had an entire list of aliases she'd used, and Jessica Validomir wasn't one of them. The officer here was slowly losing his temper.
She's not going.
Please.
No, she's not going. You can wet your pants. I don't care.
Denise, I'm swapping out with you.
So here's what's going to happen. You can either give me your correct name right now, or I'm going to get you fingerprinted. I'm going to get you fingerprinted, and then when your real name comes up, you're going to be charged with the crime for lying to the police. Okay, so you have one more chance.
We can have another day.
Because
This one is my
okay,
name.
no, all right. So this is fake. Yeah, it's fake. It can just go in the garbage. It's fake. Yeah,
Okay.
it's fake.
The officer then requested the use of AFIS, the Automated Fingerprint Identification System. It's a laser fingerprint system that can identify a perpetrator in minutes. He later found out that throughout her Walmart scamming career, this woman had stolen over $140,000. The officer instructed the staff to gather all of the evidence they had against her.
So what do you have?
$31.99.37 is what we're short right here. Cash long short.
Okay.
So basically $3,200 probably.
All right. Hey, John.
She wanted so much stuff. There's still more stuff up there they didn't get. Ground.
So pull it all together.
I'll go get that.
And get it where I can build this, because if we arrest her tonight, this is a felony charge. We have 72 hours for our detectives to be able to run this case.
Okay.
And push the charges through.
Okay.
So when she goes to jail, it starts the clock ticking.
Okay.
That's why it needs to be fairly solid when I leave here with her.
Okay.
The suspect maintained that her driver's license was legit. And as far as her story goes, she said that a few days ago, a friend dropped her off in Washington to visit someone. The cop talked to the employee who had witnessed the scam.
Hey, so I'm going to talk to you about the switch. To just tell me what you saw when they came from the beginning to the end, what you saw happen.
It was just normal, like, it was kind of weird because she kept asking for, like, at first she started with watches, and then she started, like, asking for, like, the GoPro, like, headphones, and, like, all this stuff.
Yeah.
And then the husband was asking for, like, PS5 and, like, I think other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so eventually when he was checking the lady out, she ended up not wanting some stuff. and then when they were counting the money, she took it back, and that's when I saw her like slip her finger like through the bills.
Okay.
And then she kept like eyeing me because she saw me like standing behind right there, and she kept eyeing me. That's why it kind of like looked suspicious.
The switch scam is pretty simple. The suspects pretend to pay the full amount, but they distract the employee just enough to take most of the money back. The second employee, Isaiah, was the one receiving the money. Supposedly, the switch happened as Isaiah turned his back to see if the bills were counterfeit on a separate machine.
While you're testing the 4 or 5, you have your back to it. Nobody else is watching $3,000, correct? Okay. It looks like she bought like $3,300 worth of stuff. She counted 1,000 out. This dude in here counted 1,000 back 3 different times. Then she hands him 300 to cover the rest of it. When she has 3,300 laying there, he turns and puts 4 or 5 of them in the money tester. Then he puts them in the till. So we think it was when he turned that she took 3,000 back. But that's what we gotta confirm. If not, then I think we...
While the evidence against the suspect was mounting, the identity situation was getting a bit more complicated. The suspect's fingerprints didn't match any known records in the U.S. If the video evidence doesn't show her actually stealing the money, they've got nothing. But then...
There she goes.
Oh, you're not even looking at the
She's
screen.
not even looking. She took all of it back.
Okay.
There you go.
All right, we got hard evidence.
She took it back.
Yep. Okay, so you're under arrest for, and it's going to be a felony charge for stealing around $3,000. We're going to get the exact number. You're under arrest. Okay, stand up. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you in a court of law. You understand your rights that I read to you? Yes or no? Huh?
I'm not still nothing.
Okay.
The cop who was running the suspect's fingerprints claimed that back in May, they caught the suspect in another Walmart and she had the same fake ID. Allegedly, she was part of a Romanian gang.
So, apparently she's done this before. This was back in May of this year.
They're part of a huge theft ring, and you should see the data that Walmart has on them. I mean, they're hitting y'all's Walmart too. They're hitting every Walmart pretty much, but all over the U.S., it's like millions of dollars. They're Romanian gang or whatever, not gang, but they're basically the modern Romanian. Anyway, but they're all, yeah, mafia type stuff, and they're all like family.
And it's not just in Washington; it's around the U.S.
It's the whole U.S.
Oh, shit, all kinds of ideas, huh?
Well, when you can make one, you can make a bunch.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm surprised we haven't found a casino card in there. Emerald Queen, or it's a pretty good scam.
Yeah,
you know,
it
make
is.
it appear as though you're gonna pay legitimately.
Yep. Oh, there's another one got hit. Red Minor.
What's the amount on that one?
This is a 3,002.
Oh no! Yeah. Ah.
Goodness.
That's a good piece of evidence right there.
Yep. Hubby keeps trying to call her. Some coins.
You could actually go organize retail theft just based on what you got so far.
I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
100%.
In case you didn't actually catch how the scam happens, don't worry, since the cops were confused too. Here's a detailed overview and also an explanation from loss prevention. It's a very elaborate scheme, and it requires the hands of a magician.
And you'll see she puts up all the cash in 3 separate stacks.
Okay.
But they target new associates and young ones. And then as the associates count the cash, they'll take it back.
There you go.
And they do a little.
Look at her purse. Look how much money she has.
Their thumb, and they just hand it back to them. And the cashier doesn't count it back. Basically, last 2 weeks ago, the total was $3,600. They only paid $1,900.
Ah.
So they do pay cash, but it's not all the cash.
All the cash, I see.
So she's got it ready as soon as, you know, it's kind of like gambling. You're not going to count one of them. If she's got that much money, it must be real.
Third, fourth.
So this is really to take it all back.
Why is he not saying anything at this point?
I don't know.
Okay, so she has all the cash now.
The suspect picks the piles up, stacks them together, and somehow manages to take some of the bills out before handing the rest back to the cashier. The amount of theft she was involved in was just utterly staggering. Under her alias, they charged the woman with second-degree theft. Her real name was not confirmed, and the investigation is still ongoing. Not all scammers use magic tricks. Some of them, like our next suspect, just use telephones. This guy was scamming a 100-year-old lady, claiming he was her son. The man said he was in jail and needed $10,000 for bail money. So the old woman, of course, went quickly to the bank. When the teller saw the old lady in tears, he realized something was wrong and called the cops.
Good morning. This is Simona. I'm calling from the Cape Cod 5 here in Yarmouth. How are you?
Good, thanks.
I have a customer with me who got a call from someone claiming to be her son and instructed her to withdraw $10,000 cash.
Okay.
So it looks like she gave them her address and they're going to go to her house to get the money. So we're just a little worried that someone will be waiting for her when she goes home since she gave them her address.
Where is she right now?
She's right here with me.
My name's Jefferson. My name's Jefferson.
Oh, hi, Jefferson.
So I just had a couple questions for you.
Go right ahead.
Has she taken any money out? All right, so no money's been taken out. Good. So good first step.
They said they only want cash.
Okay.
So I said, well, I don't have that cash in the house. I have to go to the bank.
Yep.
Well, all right. Now call us when you get back from the bank.
Okay.
The officer followed the old lady to her home and notified detectives to get involved. They immediately called her son and informed him about what was happening.
No money's passed, son, because I don't give my money away that freely.
Mom, I have millions of dollars. Why would I ask you for money?
Bye.
Bye.
He's a retired broker.
Oh, really? So right now I'm just waiting to hear, in like 10 minutes I'll hear from my detective, okay?
I feel like calling the bill.
No, don't call.
Call the bill bondsman and tell him to F off.
No, if anything, we may have you call him and say you have the money. Maybe.
Oh, I'll be afraid to be here alone.
No, you wouldn't be alone through it. We'd be here.
The officer explained that it's not the first case of this type involving elderly fraud. In fact, the cops dealt with this same situation just a week ago. Then as these two were chatting away, waiting for the detective, the scammers called back to check in on the lady.
Hello? I'm okay. How are you?
This is the public defender's office. How you doing?
Okay, I'm waiting for my ride.
You waiting for your ride to go to the bank?
Yes.
Who's gonna take you to the bank?
The ride. Uber.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, bye. That was them.
Look at it.
The detective decided not to involve the old lady any more than necessary. So they took $10,000 in cash, put it in a brown paper bag, and left it at a shopping mall. The only thing Grandma had to do was call the scammers and tell them where the money was. The cops didn't have to wait long till the bad guys showed up.
Show me ass. Turn around. Drop the bag. Hey. Anything on you, man?
Bodycam. Okay, you're being reported right now. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say kind of will be used against you in the court or other proceeding. You have the right to speak to an attorney and have him present during any questions. If you cannot afford an attorney will be appointed. Okay. You can also, if you choose to speak, you can stop at any time. Okay. Do you have any questions about any of that? Okay.
The suspect stayed quiet. He already knew the game was over and that he was headed to jail. But he wasn't the only one. A female suspect arrived with him, so the cops detained her as well. Now it's up to the cops to determine if she was involved in the scam as well. She said the suspect, Carlos, was her boyfriend.
What was he doing here? What was he coming here to do?
He came to CVS. We came and ate Chinese food.
Okay. Who was he coming here to meet? Do you have a cell phone in there?
Yeah.
Can I see your phone real quick?
please. And whose car is this, Ayala?
This is his car.
It's his car? Okay. Now, why don't you jump out? You been in trouble before? No. Okay. We want to keep it that way, right?
I got so scared. I don't know what's going on.
Well, Carlos is involved in something. But what I can tell you is he's probably just a courier, here to pick something up, take it someplace. That's more what I'm interested in. Okay?
The officer explained that Carlos was tracking someone on his phone, and had even walked straight up to the person. That meant that he wasn't there by coincidence and knew exactly what he was doing. Upon hearing that, the female suspect sighed and rolled her head in disbelief. But the cop wasn't buying it, and he made it perfectly clear.
The lost babe in the woods routine might not work, so I'll ask you again, what are you guys doing here?
I don't know, for real. I don't know anything. I just came with him, but I don't know. He's my boyfriend, but I don't know the deal,
Mm-hmm. Was he here with anybody else, or was it just the two of you?
Just me and him. But I usually, get we do Instacart.
What's Instacart? What is that?
We grab things from restaurants and stuff like that. On package, like people call for orders.
Yeah, that's not this. That's not what this is.
The suspect claimed that her boyfriend worked as a courier for Instacart, delivering groceries and food to people's homes. Actually, it's a pretty clever way to cover up the fact that he was really picking up illegal stuff. But the question is, can the cops prove she was in on it?
So what we're going to do is we'll probably cause the search and potentially seize your car, okay? But we're going to search your car. What's going to jam you up, if I'm being honest with you, if there's evidence of any other crime in that car. If that's not the only package he picked up today, then you're going to have a big, big problem, okay? So be upfront and honest with me right now, because like I said, we're going to search your car. So I need to know if there's anything else, any other packages, if you made any other stops earlier today.
No, I don't know anything,
You don't know anything. So you're from Lawrence, he's from Methuen, yet you're in Worcester at a Chuck E. Cheese parking lot.
Yeah, but like I said, we go for, I'm used to this, going with him to pick up things, for Instacart.
Yeah, it's not Instacart.
As it turned out, the woman and Carlos were more than just a couple. They'd been together for years and had a 9-year-old child together. However, the cops were about to search their car, and their hopes of living happily ever after are about to go down the drain.
Great, awesome. Is it Maria? And whose car is it?
Carlos.
Okay. And what's all this stuff in the glove box? Well, it's like you got thousands and thousands of dollars in there.
Oh my God.
See?
What the f*** is he doing?
Well, and ma'am, not for nothing, the keys to access the glove box,
She's gotta go. She's gotta go too. There's thousands of dollars in the glove box.
Ma'am, the keys to access the glove box were in your side, and you're sitting directly in front of it as well. So, I insist you talk to this trooper with anything you want to provide, okay?
There's a load of cash right there. So this isn't their first pickup today.
While the officers didn't know it yet, there was actually $46,000 in the glove box. This meant that on that very day, they'd scammed another person, and there's no way Maria didn't know about the money because it was there right in front of her. The cops kept pressing her, and it didn't take long for Maria to break.
Listen. You've never been in trouble before. You're going back. Listen to me. I understand, but here's the thing. When you got out of the car, what did I tell you? You got probably $10,000 or $20,000 right there. And what that tells me is you guys have been very busy today. Okay, this is not your first pickup today. Tell me what happened. It's going someplace else.
I'm gonna tell you.
Okay.
When I saw the money that he got, you guys already know what's going on, the deal, right? Because you guys are detectives.
We already know.
Oh, exactly, and I see a lot of detective things, so I know what's up. I was in it, but I don't know how to drive. How can I get from a situation, out of a situation like this? I saw the money and I tell him, what are you doing?
I think you know more.
You do know more.
What are you doing?
This is not first rodeo.
I swear to God, I swear to my kids.
Maria said she would confess, but she then tried to evade the cops, giving them nothing specific. However, it was later revealed that she and Carlos were part of a larger scheme targeting seniors. In this case, the amount recovered was $150K. and the cops suspect that these two might have stolen up to $1 million. At Verizon wireless stores all across the country, there was an entirely different scam happening. And on September 19th, 2023, there was a breakthrough in the case. The cops got reports of a scamming customer making multiple fraudulent transactions. The officers rushed to the scene.
Did she try and open anything with you guys today?
No, we have $26,000 in confirmed fraud that she's opened up in the past.
Do you know which agencies are working it?
Yeah, I got her here.
Did she steal anything from any other stores?
Yes, I have confirmed fraud.
Was there a police report completed on that fraud?
We were getting them completed today.
Okay, so there's no police report. All right. What city is that?
Okay, I've got her all over the state of Florida. I've got her in Punta Gorda, Spring Hill, Iverness. I've got her in Pinellas Park,
Go ahead.
Jacksonville Beach, Brandon, Largo, Oviedo, Orlando.
This scammer was indeed a busy bee. She said her name was Catherine, but as the officer dug deeper, they found out she was using fake IDs, getting items she had no intention of paying for. Now let's find out how she attempted to scam Verizon.
Do you guys not verify IDs or anything prior to selling devices?
We do. She has fake IDs.
Fake IDs.
Okay. She has fake IDs that she uses.
Do you have the copies of any of the documents that she had or surveillance video? Otherwise, we're only going off your word.
I have surveillance video. I also have the invoices that she used or that was used during the transactions.
So what'd you come here today for, Miss Catherine?
I come to this area once a month to visit my mom. Oh, I'm sorry.
You're fine. To visit your mom? Okay.
Yes.
And what were you coming here for?
Like I said, I have AT&T.
Yeah, I didn't hear the start, so
Yeah.
I'm just trying to...
I have AT&T.
Yeah.
I'm trying to switch over to Verizon.
Okay.
Catherine, or whatever her real name was, looked incredibly guilty, almost as if she'd been arrested before and knew exactly what was coming. That assumption proved to be on point when the officer mentioned her probation.
So what's the deal with the probation?
I'm not gonna lie, you guys already know everything. I used to do illegal stuff.
What kind of, I don't know, I didn't hear what it was. You just said probation, I didn't know anything.
Phones.
Phones?
Yeah.
Open up phones in other people's names?
Long story. Long story.
Why do you think we're here?
Because the guys think I'm doing scamming. No, I'm not scamming right now. I'm not scamming. I actually did something legit.
While the suspect said she'd scammed people before, on that day, she was doing legitimate business. Throughout the investigation, she'll try to make it look like the officers are just harassing her due to her criminal history.
I'm afraid of you guys.
I'm the
You guys
nicest person in the world.
You guys make me nervous.
I mean, there's nothing to be nervous about.
This thing is a big one.
Yeah. So,
$26,000
total. So, well, we have at least 2,200 in the market. So, we'll see.
I mean, I give you your time to think what you're going to tell me. We're talking a $26,000 fraud.
I'm sorry?
Stop calling on the phone. I don't want
Oh,
you
no,
calling on
I'm not calling nobody. I'm letting
the phone.
Instagram.
No, actually, put the phone down and turn it off. We're done. Like I said at the beginning, you're not free to leave. Can't go anywhere. You're officially detained.
Why are you crying?
I'm not crying.
Why'd your people dip on you?
Nobody did something. Like, I hate the situation.
I know you're not the main one in this. You're just the fall person. Just being honest. And that sucks.
Based on the look on her face, chances are the cop was absolutely right on this one. Catherine was part of a larger scamming ring, and unfortunately for her, she was at the bottom of the food chain. That meant that if anything went wrong, she'd be the first to go down.
Like I said, I have a past. Maybe I have done something in the past that I do not recall because I'm trying to do everything legit.
Okay.
I don't want to go back to jail.
Did you come up here in August?
What I was wearing in August.
So if I show you the surveillance video and it matches you to a T, and you provided this person's name, like, you understand, my hands are very well tied. Like, I'm giving you a chance to explain your side of the story at this point.
But at the end of the day, you guys if you guys have a video of me, you guys still gonna take me in. So
not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
Sometimes there's more investigation to be done.
VMAs.
Realizing their suspect was just a very small fish in the pond, the officers tried to get a confession out of her and see if she'd give up the rest of the gang. The cops had information that a person matching her description had recently scammed other stores. When questioned about it, her defense was that she had a really bad memory.
How old are you?
34.
Okay, so you're the same age as me. I'm old, and I've been doing this job a long time now. There's a lot of crap in my head. I can still remember.
I'm more than mine.
Debatable on there. I can still remember what I've done a month ago if I went to a Verizon store. I could tell you I went to T-Mobile last month because my phone stopped working because it dropped the SIM card. My SIM card went bad. So I can tell you I remember that, and that's over a month ago. So how can you not remember if you've been to a Verizon store? Like, help me help you. Like, because you understand, the more you deny, the more you look just guilty as hell.
Since his tactics weren't working, he then decided to go another route. Since he knew she was out on bail, he asked her about why she'd been arrested. As it turns out, she was doing the same old thing.
Like, what do you do with these phones? What'd you do in the previous scam?
The old scam?
Yeah, what'd you do in the previous one?
The one I got arrested for?
Yeah.
It was getting phones and reselling them.
So same thing that we're here for now?
No. Honestly, I'm trying to get a new phone for myself and for my girlfriend.
That's the same reason we're here right now. That's what the accusation is. Like, that you have got phones.
I'm trying to open an account for myself.
I know, but
not somebody else.
I'm just telling you what the accusation is here. It's that you have opened accounts, paid for just the tax, and then resold them for $2,000-$3,000, making pure profit.
I wish I had the type of money.
The cops showed the woman a video of herself going into a Verizon store in August, but the woman said she couldn't remember it and dismissed the video, saying it was another woman and that she even knew who it was.
So do you know who this is?
Pretty sure.
Who is it?
We look like a lot, and
Yeah, you guys look very similar.
that's this guy, girlfriend.
This guy's girlfriend?
Yeah.
Do you know her name?
I know her nickname.
What's her nickname?
Shorty.
Shorty? So let's try this again. Is this you? I've been super nice to you.
Am I gonna make you?
I don't know. I can tell you that's your tattoo and that's your tattoo.
I already said what I gotta say.
Okay.
Yo, you guys help me on. I will give you every single thing that you guys need.
Okay.
The officer's tactics took some time to work, but he never raised his voice or demeaned the suspect for her criminal past. He even tried portraying the woman as a victim, because in this scam, she was the one making the least money, and yet somehow, she was also the scapegoat. Slowly but surely, she cracked.
So, before we get too crazy, that August 5th, obviously the picture is you, right?
Yes.
Okay. Continue. Sorry. I'm just making sure I ain't going crazy. So.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry for lying to you.
It's okay. Things happen. Listen, I've been nothing but polite and nice to you.
To be honest, I couldn't remember. That's why I asked you what day it was.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to put it together because I didn't remember that day.
Okay. So continue.
And the person who sells the information, he's out of the country. He's in DR.
Okay, so
don't ask me how he gets information. I know he has something called a dialer. So I'm pretty sure what they do is just pipe information online with people. With this dialer, I guess it make like the number from Verizon, call people and get the PIN numbers and all that stuff. Make sure that the information with the phone online matches.
Yeah.
And they just sell it.
In the end, what the officers suspected turned out to be true. Catherine was just a pawn and not the mastermind, but they were still gonna lock her up. So these guys would get the phones and only pay taxes for them, then resell them for thousands of dollars. And as for Catherine, how much does she get?
How much of a cut do you get out of all this?
$400, $100, $200.
We're just coming in and getting the phones, and then you give him the phones.
Yeah.
What happens to the phones?
He resells them.
He resells them. Does he sell them here, or just does he like wipe them or whatever?
No, he has a couple buyers in Orlando.
In Orlando? Okay. Do you actually live in Orlando and Davenport and everything?
I moved because I'm trying to get my life together.
Trying to get away from the shenanigans.
Yeah, and it just keeps
keeps finding you.
Yeah.
Catherine was arrested and charged with 2 counts of committing ID fraud and 1 count of attempting to defraud over $20,000. That was just for her crimes in Largo. She'd been busy committing other crimes all across Florida. Catherine was sentenced to 9 months in prison. On the 18th of May, 2024, a young woman was at a hotel spa and seized the opportunity to steal personal items from another guest's locker. Then to top it off, she tried to use the victim's credit card to check into a different hotel.
She was in another hotel and she popped the safe and was in there, and she thought she could trust me by using her.
You want her trespass too, or just want to?
No, just have her. Yeah, the stuff is there, and she's young. I don't want to,
Hello. Mind coming outside with me, please? Mind coming outside with me? This is your stuff, right?
Yeah.
What's going on today?
Too much.
Yeah? How did you get here? Did you catch a bus, an Uber? Drive? Uber?
It's the worst day of my life.
Why you say that?
I'm being honest with you.
Why you say that?
Why?
You're not in trouble. Why are you scared? What did we do? Are you afraid of somebody else? Alright, is somebody after you?
Everybody.
It doesn't take a genius to see that this young woman's trying to play the victim. Stealing someone's identity takes some definite nerve, so it's not for the faint of heart. But at this moment, she's trying to pretend she's a frail young woman with the entire world against her. Sadly for this woman, her acting skills are just about as bad as her thieving.
Ma'am, what's your name?
Lauren.
Lauren? Okay. Where's your family?
I don't know.
You don't know? So what was you trying to do today? You were trying to rent out a room? Where did you find these cards from? Where'd you get them from?
In the locker room. So I put my purse in the locker room, and it's just been a really busy day.
Alright, just sit down and have a seat. Where was the locker room at?
PJ National Resort and Spa. Where I work, I thought it was safe.
Oh, you worked there. That was today?
I put my purse in the locker, and then when I came back, it was replaced with a different purse and a different set of keys and everything. And I thought, oh, I don't know what just happened. I've had a lot, like too much to think about, and so I haven't been thinking clearly, and everybody's being so.
What made you use this though to rent out a room? That's all I'm asking.
The cop here got right to the point. Leaving your purse in a locker and then mistakenly taking someone else's is one thing. That could happen to anyone. But then trying to get a hotel room using someone else's credit card is something entirely different.
Because I don't know what else to do. I'm
Do
scared.
you have
I'm
money?
terrified. Yeah, I have money in my bank account, but I don't have my stuff.
So why you try to use somebody else's?
Because my best friend's name is Cherie. So
Is she your best friend?
no.
Okay, therefore you had no reason to be in property of this.
You're right. I'm sorry.
Hold on, let's figure out this. Let me get her 14 first. Then we'll get statements from them. Then we'll contact the victim. And if they want to pause, then she's tempted. You know what I'm saying? It's a process. Lauren, stop crying. Spell your name. Spell your name, Lauren.
Lauren.
There's no doubt that Lauren's a scheming young lady. Also, notice how quickly she switches from crying to smiling. If she was really that scared, would she be smiling at all?
You say you're afraid of someone. Who are you afraid of?
Everybody, every man that I've ever known in my life.
But you had experience. You had a
Oh yeah, I've
prior
had really
abusive
bad experience.
relationship.
Like I told you, I had the worst day of my life.
Today?
Today.
What
This
happened
is the
today?
worst day of my life because I can't even trust my own father. That's why.
What did he? What
I
happened?
don't know what he's
You
doing.
mind getting that while I run over?
Yeah, what do you mean? What do you mean you can't trust your father?
Well, my father, somebody's obviously called the cops on me.
What do you mean?
Like somebody called the police on me.
For us to be here right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're trying to check in a hotel with
Well,
not your stuff. So
yeah. Well, I'm just
they're
scared
gonna
because
call.
I feel like I can't trust anybody. I don't know.
So-
who to talk to.
Yeah, but
Well, they're just doing their job.
Yeah,
It's not. Don't take it personal. They called us because they obviously.
This obviously is not you.
Someone else's credit card. That's it.
now you said you do not know who this person is?
No.
It looks like Lauren's trying to paint a picture here of having a terrible life and being used and abused by others. But every time the officer tried to dig in deeper and see if there was any truth to what she was saying, her entire story just fell apart.
Yeah, and I know I did something wrong, and I apologize for that. I just didn't know I was doing anything wrong because I've had a really long day.
I know, but you gotta explain on that. How has it been so long and bad?
Well, because I was staying at the hotel and then
Which hotel? This one?
No, PJ.
Okay.
And then I realized it's not.
How is it not?
It's just creepy.
How is it creepy?
I think that there's cameras everywhere.
There's cameras everywhere.
No, in the wrong places.
Like where?
Like in the hotel room.
Which hotel room?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter, does it?
But anyway, what happened with your father today?
I don't know. I don't want to talk to him.
Okay. Why? Why
yeah,
is
I mean,
that?
if you don't want to talk about it, you don't have to talk about it.
Because I don't trust my parents right now. That's why.
Okay, did they do something to hurt you?
Yes,
What
they
was
did. They don't believe me.
Okay, well, did they not physically hurt you?
Not physically, no.
Okay.
In addition to her terrible acting skills, she also kept changing her story. First she said she worked at the PGA National Resort. Then she said she took time off work because she'd just been through a bad breakup and went to the National for 2 days. Lauren even claimed someone had stolen her purse and changed it with the victims, which made no sense at all.
You noticed the stuff was gone. Your stuff was missing, which was your purse with what in it?
My wallet.
Okay. And then,
Personal
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just normal purse stuff.
Yeah.
You noticed that, and then you noticed someone else's bag was in there. Where's that bag? This bag? This is the bag you found, and that was today? What are you grabbing?
Everything that was in the bag.
Everything that was in this bag.
Here you go.
No. I just want to know details. That's it. I'm not saying I have to take it right now.
Yeah, my stuff was missing and it was replaced with that stuff.
Okay.
So maybe
and
they
this.
put it somewhere safe. Is what
Yeah,
I'm
but-
suggesting.
Yeah, it's just odd that this would be in
Very
there.
odd. Yeah. But you know, life's
But
full
this
of
all
odd
happened
things.
today,
Some
you
things
said?
are, like signs, some things are against that.
But this all happened today, you said?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Meanwhile, another officer talked to the manager. At one point, they even reached out to PGA National to get their side of the story. That's when they realized the woman was just lying to them all along.
So come here. The spa just called them. Well, PGA National just called them. She don't work at PGA National. She tried to check in at PGA National with the same credit card on ID. So she's committing fraud.
I just like Jesus. Is that cool with you? All I do is read the Bible. That's all I do.
That's good.
That's good. I'm glad that you can see that that's all I'm doing is just having faith in God. What's wrong with having faith in God?
I didn't say anything was wrong with that. I go to church.
Is this necessary? But is there anything like I'm a violent person?
No, you're not a violent person.
And why
I
do
don't
I?
think you are.
Why do I have handcuffs on? Did I look like I was going to hit somebody?
No, you did well.
Very confusing scenario.
It's not that confusing. If it's your stuff, then you use your stuff. If it's not your stuff, then you don't use it, unless you have permission. Or you said you don't know this
you're
female.
right. You're right.
While the officer gave the suspect a lesson in how to behave normally, a car pulled up with the victim inside, wearing a bathrobe since all of her clothing was in the stolen bag. As it turned out, these two women had actually seen each other earlier at the spa.
This the Lululemon, right? But does this belong to you too? Yes. Oh, okay. You just had the black bag. Oh, so you saw her? Oh, you saw her at the pool? Do you mind if I get a quick statement? Just cover her up. I get a quick statement from you real quick.
Do you think it'll be resolved shortly?
Okay.
Have anything on you that I need to know about? Any drugs?
No.
Any paraphernalia? Any sharp objects? Anything that's gonna cut or poke?
No, ma'am. Just jewelry.
It's jewelry? Alright.
After being searched, Lauren was taken to jail and charged with theft and fraud. She had to do 29 days in jail, 20 hours of community service, and was also required to take a course on theft abatement. It looks like behind every corner, there's some kind of a scam going on. This next one, however, is on a whole other level. In the span of 6 years' time, more than $1.3 million was stolen from a business. And on the 25th of May, 2023, the cops finally had enough evidence to arrest the woman.
I don't know, they sound big. DeKalb Police! Search warrant! DeKalb Police! Search warrant! He's coming. Open the door or I'm gonna break your door. Sure.
anyone else home?
No, it's just me and my dog.
Are your dogs locked up?
Can I please see the warrant,
Yes.
please?
Yep, we'll give you a copy.
What is this?
Is your husband home or your children home?
No, my children are at school.
Here's your-
This woman is Passion Moon, age 33. She's a former financial administrator at a corporate services firm. Having access to financial records, company accounts, and payroll systems, it was pretty easy for Passion to scam her employer for years. But right about now, it was time for Passion to pay some dues.
Let go of the phone now.
No, I'm on the phone with my lawyer.
Let go.
I'm on the phone with my lawyer.
Let go of the phone.
Please, thank you.
I'm gonna hang out with you, okay?
Can you please explain to me what's going on?
Yep. There's a search warrant for your house. Okay. I have an officer that's gonna talk to you once we make sure that everything's safe in here. Okay. All right. There's no one else home. There's no kids home. Anything like that.
No, but is
your husband home or is he?
No.
Okay.
Can I call my lawyer at least? Like.
Yep, you can do that. Okay. But we're gonna work on it. Okay?
So I have to wait until you guys give me my phone.
Yes. There's a search warrant signed by a judge that says that we will be searching your house. Okay.
This woman was not just skimming a little off the top. As they say, she really went to town. She was cashing forged checks, funneling money straight into her bank account, and even buying stuff straight off Amazon and having it sent right to her house, all at the company's expense.
My lawyer said I shouldn't open the door or do anything or tell you guys to contact them first. So
I
that's
understand.
not
If
true.
you didn't open the door, I would have broke it down. Okay. So you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. Okay. I've got a search warrant signed by a judge. It's not like I asked to come in. I got an order to come in by the judge.
Okay.
Okay. Are there any weapons in the home or anything like that?
Yeah, my husband has
They're
conceal
locked
and
up?
carry.
Yeah, they're locked up though.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
And he's not here.
No.
When they first fired the woman, she was confronted by her employer, and they asked her to come to a follow-up meeting, but she never showed up. It did take some time for detectives to build a strong case against her, but now, as they were making their first move, all she could do was stare at that warrant as if somewhere on the pages there was some kind of salvation.
Can I at least call someone to get my kids though from school? Like, this is delaying the process if I can't call them and at least say that.
When do they get off school?
My kid gets out of school at 12.
You got a little bit of time for that, but I will let you make phone calls for that, okay? It's 9:30.
But if he's out on a truck run, why can't I call him and just tell him to get back here now? I don't have anyone in DeKalb else to pick up my kid.
Okay. We'll let you make that call. Okay? Just not at this moment. Okay, we gotta make sure the house is safe, everyone's safe, and then we'll start having conversation.
Am I under arrest or something?
At the moment, no.
I'm not understanding why I can't call my husband just to tell him to head back this way then.
Nope, I understand you don't have a phone on you right now, so you can't call your husband.
I do have another phone I can use though. Or
That's
I can
also
pay-
part of the search.
My tablet's part of it too?
We're almost about 15 seconds. We'll be done.
The cops cleared the house room by room. At first glance, there didn't seem to be anything of note here, except for the dogs and rooms that were cluttered with what looked like garbage. But as we'll later find out, not all of it was trash.
How do they want my text messages?
For the offense that's listed in the warrant.
You said the offense. Can you explain that? What does that mean?
Yep. You got a lot of questions. There's another detective that's going to have those answers for you, okay?
Okay.
I'll get him for you once he's done doing what he's doing inside. How long you lived?
3 years now. Going on 4.
How many dogs?
6. 2 I'm babysitting and 4 are mine.
A little while later, a detective appeared, and Passion figured she'd finally get some answers. However, it looked like the detective here was reluctant to give out any more information than necessary.
Passion, if you would please just let's go ahead and slip down the swing.
Why can't we stand? I would like to stay closer to my house if that's possible.
Well, at this point in time, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to come down to the station with me, okay?
For what?
Huh? As for right now, you're in custody. You're in custody. You're under arrest for theft as of right now, okay?
So I'm being charged?
As of right now, yes.
Okay, so when can I call my husband?
I'll let you as soon as we get down
And my
there.
lawyer.
I know you have a lot of questions, and I want to be as accommodating as possible, okay? So as soon as we get down there, we'll sit down, we'll have a talk, and when everything's situated, and like I said, I can answer questions for you, and I'll let you make what phone calls you need to, okay?
So who's all under arrest? Who's all under arrest? Who are
As
you
of,
charging?
as of right now, you're the only one here. So as of right now, you're the only one that's being charged.
Who else would be charged? My husband would be charged?
I don't. At this point in time, I'm just concerned about talking to you. Okay.
You said you would answer more of my questions.
He will. We've got to do this part first. We will talk to you more at the police department. So for now.
Passion here was understandably worried about her children, but she had no one to blame for this mess except herself. By then, just before placing her in the squad car, the detective took a moment to explain to the woman why they didn't want to talk about the case right here in the middle of the street.
I know you get a lot of questions, and I want to provide the answers for you, but then again, I just don't want to sit here and air out laundry in front of the entire neighborhood.
I just want to know, okay, most importantly, I would like to call my husband so he can get the kids. Is my husband under arrest? Are you guys trying to get him too?
As of right now, that's one of our first priorities is, getting a hold of husband, make sure the kids are okay. So, we're going to try.
But are you telling me the truth or are you just saying it? Because
Passion.
I don't even know what I'm being, who's charging me.
All right. Passion, I'm being upfront now. So I've been doing this for almost 19 years.
Okay.
I'm not trying to bamboozle you
Okay.
or anything like that, okay?
It doesn't even say who's charging me.
Hmm?
It doesn't even say who's charging me.
The Cal Police Department. Yep, we'll talk about, charges and whatnot when we get down there. Like I said, I'm not trying to bamboozle you. We'll try to get hold of your husband, try to make arrangements for the kids and whatnot, and get it all situated.
While it might have seemed that searching the house was in vain, that wasn't the case. Knowing exactly what specific items to look for, the cops managed to find a lot of pricey items, including over $100,000 worth of jewelry.
Sorry, it's not the most comfortable, but I'll get you out of those ASAP, okay? They're boxes? Oh, they're just clearing stuff out. It says clearing stuff out of the van. It says part of the search warrant, which items were listed here. Obviously, you got your copy. It's right here. How long is your stuff going to be gone for? Yes. It's part of the investigation. 100% honesty. I don't know, because if whatever's collected will be collected as evidence, if everything works out, when you're found innocent or charges are dismissed, that property will be returned to you. Okay? As right now, yes.
With items like a $20,000 diamond ring and a pair of earrings worth $35,000, it's no wonder Passion was worried about her stuff. They also found the proverbial smoking gun in terms of various financial documents, deposit slips, and checks that had been forged. They charged the woman with theft of over $1 million, which is a felony Class X. She was also charged with 3 counts of forgery and various other financial crimes. Passion pled not guilty and paid a bond of $500,000. The woman's case is still pending. Thanks for joining me in exposing some of the worst scammers out there. Make sure to subscribe here on The Hidden Files so you don't miss the next one.